The CLAMP School Paranormal Investigators series consists of quote-unquote 6 books published from 1996 to 2000, for which only 3 were translated beyond Japanese. The first 2 were in large part connected to CLAMP's table talk role-playing RPG known as the CRPG. The 4 current CLAMP members played this game alongside their fellow authors Tomoyuki Matsumoto, who likely created the game rules, and Takeshi Okazaki. This game allows the players to create students or otherwise connected to CLAMP School, seen in CLAMP's manga series, living out extraordinary lives at the school. Nanase Okawa played Takeyuki Usugiya, Satsuki Igarashi played Mifiu Mizukigami, Mick Nikoi played Riai Nabuki, Mokuna Papa played Koji Takamura, Takeshi played Yuki Ojiro, and Tomoyuki played Taro Ryugasaki. Several replays of their CRPG sessions were collected and published in Asuka novels and the CLAMP School Guidebook with accompanying artwork by CLAMP. Afterward, CLAMP encouraged Tomoyuki to continue the stories in novel format, while CLAMP primarily handled the artwork for such stories, along with some extra manga shorts. Some of these stories were printed in Asuka novels in some fashion, but most were published directly by Kadokawa Shoten. 3 of these novels being translated into English under the title CLAMP School Paranormal Investigators. Overall, the series consisted of 11 episodes and 3 manga shorts. Additionally, the quote-unquote 6th book, KEI Vampire of the Dawn, was written by Tomoyuki with art by CLAMP as a prequel to CSPI proper. The first 5 episodes of CSPI were featured in untranslated books, but portions of these episodes were summarized in Case File Volume 2. As such, until I get a chance to try and more fully translate the original text, these brief portions will have to do when summarizing the stories. Episode 0, The Case of the Cursed Ice Cream. This story was released in the official CLAMP School Guidebook as a prequel to the stories released in 1996, these being episodes 1 through 3. Like those 3, this story was created by CLAMP, Tomoyuki, and Takeshi playing their CRPG. Episode 0 occurs as Yuki takes over the association after the former chairman, Gyokyo Kariyuan, graduated from CLAMP School University. Yuki wanted to make a name for the association and gain it club status, so he had the group investigate the 7 wonders of CLAMP School, bizarre phenomena that had become legend all over campus. The group investigated, quote-unquote, the ice cream not found on any menu. The ice cream shop known as Hanstop supposedly sold a flavor not on the menu, and rumor had it the eater would die within 7 days of consumption, or within 7 days of even ordering it, hence the secret name Aloe Dynamite. Koji eventually ordered the flavor, and nothing became of it, but during that week, the association staked out the ice cream shop. They noticed an unfamiliar worker with plenty of supplies, and this is where the translated summary ends. Feel free to translate the guidebook pictures to see how the episode ends. Episode 1, The Case of the Mysterious O-Parts. This is the first of the main 4 game replays episodes of CLAMP's CRPG sessions. This was first released in Asuka novels before its collection, along with episodes 2 through 4. In the book, this is the CLAMP School Supernatural Phenomena Research Association No. 1. Possibly English release translatable as, These are the CLAMP School Paranormal Investigators. There was no second volume as the stories moved on to the novels known as CLAMP School Supernatural Phenomena Research Association Case File. However, a few extra stories between episodes 3 and 4 may have been released by Asuka novels somewhere else, but this information is unavailable online, only being mentioned in a word from the author section in CSPI. So episode 1 has the association, with the help of an exchange student named Thomas Moroka, uncover a giant dragon statue that shot up from the earth. This statue was supposedly forged from a mysterious metal that scientists could not identify. The statue was called an O-part, an object from the past that should not exist as its construction didn't match the technology or materials of the era or area it's from. Hearing also that a mysterious cult had infiltrated the school after the statue, the association and Thomas agreed to hide the statue, but Leon soon after ran into a cult member. This is where the translated summary ends. Episode 2, The Case of the Messenger from the Ruins. Another replay of the CRPG sessions, this episode showed the brief visit of Kariyuan to the association. She could see the future, so she came to warn the group of a black shadow not of this world. The group had to defeat the shadow before it consumed them. Soon after they started preparing, a thick fog rolled onto campus. After Kariyuan left, a giant Easter Island head hovered above the school. The summary ends here, but does say the event was a true life-or-death situation. Episode 3, The Case of the Dreaming Mummy. The final CRPG replay published in the first major novel has the group face off against the Lifestyle Monitoring Committee, which oversaw clubs and associations on campus. The association either had to produce results of paranormal activity within a week or lose all meeting rights on campus. As such, the association offered their services on campus and was commissioned by the school spirit club to investigate a ghost near the club's meeting room. While not finding a ghost at the club room, they did uncover a mummy beneath it. They later encountered a ghost at the dorms and found out she was likely the fiancée of the mummy. This produced enough results to keep the association's meeting rights and association status. Episode 4, The Case of the Still Ghost. This was the first novel story, instead of CRPG replay, that got published in the mainline book publications. Here the group had heard rumors about the old tree in the Central Natural Park. While going to investigate, they were halted by Taro Ryugasaki of the Lifestyle Monitoring Committee, who also decided to investigate the tree, declaring the area off-limits. After Takayuki talked the group's way out of trouble, the tree pulled up its roots and attacked them. The summary ends by saying the tree had its wish granted. More translation is needed to know how the story ends. Episode 5, The Invader from Space. This is the first full chapter in the CLAMP School Paranormal Investigators, aka CLAMP School Supernatural Phenomena Research Association case file, novel series. In a sense, these 3 books serve as a case file documentation of the association's adventures. In this episode, an alien ship crash lands on Earth after being shot down by another alien ship. For the aliens, contact with humans is forbidden since they are still a quote-unquote primitive species, and so communication might impair their evolution. The crashed alien needs water to form fuel for its ship, and so it possesses the body of a student, Sumika Sakamori, forcing her to help use the school's water for fuel. Meanwhile, Yuki is similarly possessed by the other alien, a space cop, and defeats the criminal before the cop wipes everyone's memories. Because of this, officially in the case files, Episode 5 never happened, and so that is why on wikis it is often known as Episode 4.5. Episode 6, The Subway Monster. This particular case file is incomplete, and what is recounted is scattered in the prologue, intermission, and epilogue of Case File Volume 1, with some additional information in subsequent volumes. According to Case File Volume 1's word from the author, this story was previously published under the name The Phantom Fourth Story, before Episode 4 was released, hence the name. Tomiyuki wanted to use it as the foundation for later episodes, so he included a portion of it in this volume. He also mentions more unreleased stories in the quote-unquote archival books, but I cannot find more information on this. Regarding the Phantom Fourth Story, now renamed to the Subway Monster, shortly after the UFO incident, the association investigated rumors that if someone in one trip travels the full length of the monorail that circles the campus, one's wish will be granted. Security at the monorail is mildly tight due to this rumor, but there are exploits which the group uses to travel the full length, but a spiritual creature had possessed a rail car, hoping to make its own wish granted. This coincided with Koji's wish, and so they had to fight off the creature with the help of a kindergarten exorcist swordsman known as Bunzaemon Sakaki. The resulting destruction caused the school to tighten security so no one can make a successful monorail wish again. Case File Volume 3's flashback shows that even though the creature was stopped once, it possessed another rail car. After it manifested again, the group fought it a second time, this time defeating it for good. Episode 7, A Gift from the Past. The final story in Case File Volume 1 has the association investigate a rumor that a creature was living in the kindergarten division's Genbu Pond. Meanwhile, a kindergartner, Sakiko Hoshinosaka, set fire to the pond, leading to Koji being blamed as he was first spotted at the scene. It is later revealed that Sakiko was trying to lure out her pet, Zeton, who eats fire and crash-landed to Earth from outer space. Further research revealed Zeton was one of 2 creatures sent from Earth into space by ancient beings, as the first, whose name is unreadable so it is just called the Blobbity Blah Blah, would try to destroy the Earth after 10,000 years, and the second, Zeton, would be Earth's protector. The group helps Zeton defeat the monster, and in the end, Zeton shoots back into space, clearing the association of all charges as the fire-breathing Zeton was blamed. Episode 8, The Uninvited Guest. Case File Volume 2's first full story shows a campus-wide scavenger hunt beginning for which the association will split into teams of 2 in an attempt to win. This story primarily revolves around the duo of Mifiu and Rion, who encounter what appears to be a woman's ghost. They follow the ghost and find an old remote control. Meanwhile, a shadowy organization called the Black tries to chase them down and take the device over the next several days. The duo receive help from a young government agent called K and uncover a World War II dated device that can essentially kill a person and subsequently capture that person's soul, making one a digital ghost of sorts. The three found a machine which housed the ghost of its creator's dead wife and defeated the organization with some help at the end from the school security forces. Episode 9, The Unforgiven Thing. In Case File Volume 2's last full story, Takayuki experiences multiple instances of deja vu throughout the day. Meanwhile, his ghost maid, Koizumi, has left on a few-day trip to the afterlife to meet her ancestors in a servant gathering. On the next day, the same events appear to repeat again, but this time Takayuki passed a girl he'd never seen before. That night, he lied awake in bed, only for him and his surroundings to suddenly shift to sitting in uniform at his desk, as time repeated beginning at 11:58 p.m. On the third repeat day, he sought out the girl, known as Yui Kashimi, who claimed to be a soon-to-be new transfer student. Takayuki secretly followed her around campus as she studied it. He continued to follow her into a clearing where a door of light materialized, revealing a corridor to another door that would either cause time to revert or lead to a parallel world. Upon starting the fourth repeat day, Takayuki rushed out at night to confront Kashimi as she emerged from the same clearing. He revealed his theory that her trying to return to her world broke the time-space continuum, resetting the day for the current dimension instead. Kashimi reveals that she came from a dimension where Earth is too developed and there's no more room for its inhabitants. With extraplanetary immigration taking too long, she has been sent to scout other dimensions instead. She reveals that each choice a person makes creates a parallel dimension where the opposite choice occurs. Hence, she thinks suitable dimensions for her people. Unfortunately, her human contact in her homeworld died, leaving the machine he built to send her to other dimensions as the only form of communication home. The accidental time loop, though, made communication with the machine ineffective. When all hope seemed lost, Koizumi returned from the afterlife, thus revealing that Takayuki's connection to her allowed his consciousness to partially exist outside time-space, allowing her to return to the looped time rather than in a future beyond it. With the help of Koizumi noticing more doorway portals, she got a message to Kashimi before her mission could begin. With the message successful and the portal, and so the time-space continuum, fixed, a new Kashimi emerged from the portal to terminate the old Kashimi and all who protect her. Takayuki convinced the old Kashimi to help them, confronting the new Kashimi and defeating her. The old Kashimi then returned home with enough data to remove Takayuki's world from immigration consideration. Episode 10, The Angel Presently About to Descend. Case File Volume 3 was entirely dedicated to the final story in the CSPI series. Here, the festival of all festivals, the Cultural Fair, was about to begin, and the group planned their representation in it to try and garner club status. Meanwhile, a creature, later identified as a vampire, was attacking people at night, leaving them anemic. Also, meanwhile, a quote-unquote angel was traveling to Earth. Also, Miharu Takanashi, the Lifestyle Monitoring Committee chairman, ordered her subordinate Taro Rigasaki to infiltrate the Investigators Association to find evidence against them to get them disbanded. Also, several characters from previous cases were converging in the story: Sakiko, Bunzaemon, and Kei. Shortly after, Taro started reviewing the association up close, and also the vampire attacked Sakiko. Later, Koji, Rion, Mifuyu, and Takayuki gathered at the school hospital where Sakiko was staying. Here, a creature attacked the hospital staff and security, this creature being revealed as one of the security committee members who was hospitalized after an attack. Kei then appeared and drove back the creature. After Bunzaemon and Yuki arrived at the hospital, Kei explained the Black also returned to campus and had created a biological weapon that was set loose on campus to stir chaos, allowing the Black to slip in and use the campus as a hidden base of operations. This weapon was a vampire virus that usually kills its victims, but those who survive can only continue living by drinking the blood of others. Prolonged exposure to the sun and enough strength may combat the virus, though. And so the entire group, now including Kei, Bunzaemon, and Taro, all confronted the creature in the hospital, successfully neutralizing it while also revealing that Sakiko's doctor was a sleeper agent for the Black. She revealed that the virus was accidentally released on campus and had spread. While normally a healthy body could fight it off, the Black had created a virus accelerant and fired it via rocket toward the campus, this rocket codenamed Archangel. Meanwhile, the vampire regained its strength, attacking Taro. Later, the interrogation of the agent continued, as the doctor revealed that the AI-controlled rocket had changed course on its own. The association enlisted the help of the CLAMP School Space Flight Research Division, locating the rocket in space and devising a plan to infiltrate it. Using Rion's spiritual powers, Koizumi's ghostly powers, and Yuki's teleportation powers, the group infiltrated the Archangel and successfully shut it down. Meanwhile, the AI presented itself as a kid looking for a friend. Kei ordered the group to evacuate using their powers while he piloted the rocket to a safe impact. During this endeavor, he uncovered the AI was formed because a young vampiric CLAMP School student was plugged into the ship. Yuki then appeared and teleported Kei to safety. Afterward, the association was on its road to club status with a new faculty advisor endorsement. Meanwhile, Yuki was hospitalized due to using his power more than ever before, but the world was safe for now. Moving on to Kei Vampire of the Dawn. I currently do not know much about this prequel book, but from what I have translated thus far, it takes place in the 1920s when Kei, full name Keiichi, was 15 years old, hence around the time he became a vampire, allegedly. Here, at 8 years old, he traveled to Germany with his father, who was a researcher. At 15, Kei is sent to live alone with the Zilkite family in the northern countryside. A boy named Ark is the head of this family and welcomes in Kei. Kei also meets Emily, a young girl weak to sunlight, and so is active at night. Apparently, this turns into a romance story between Kei and Emily. Meanwhile, a priest is commissioned to investigate a death by blood draining, with Emily as the suspect. One thing, at least, to note about this book is its inconsistencies with the CSPI texts, unless those were simply mistranslated. If someone has the Japanese copies and can check, feel free to comment below. So Kei is set in the 1920s. Specifically, we can deduce 1929 if Kei is 15 and the machine that killed his mother, which is confirmed in this book and CSPI, did so during World War I instead of World War II, as said in CSPI 2. This would mean Kei was born in 1914, lived for 7-ish years in Japan, and moved to Germany in about 1922. This would actually align better with a line from CSPI 3, where Rion said that Mifiu said that Kei had said that he was born before World War II, which directly contradicts him saying in CSPI 2 that a baby was born during World War II and that baby's mother was Kei's own mother, implying he was that baby. Another curious inconsistency, though, maybe it is explained in the Kei novel, I haven't gotten nearly that far in translation, is that in CSPI, Kei has light hair, but in KVD he has dark hair. Now, Ark, who we can deduce is a vampire by the picture alone, has light hair, and Emily, who is implied a vampire, also has light hair, so maybe Kei's hair turns light after becoming a vampire. Anyway, those are just the apparent contradictions, but the last thing I will note about KVD is that Ark bears a loose resemblance to Tsubasa's Phi. Their hairstyles look somewhat similar, both have light hair, and both are vampires at one point. And not a crossover character, but maybe Clamp took some inspiration from here, making KVD all the more significant. Anyway, that is the full summary of the entire CSPI/KVD series. To see them in full for yourselves, see the link below when it's available. Downloadable copies are also at that link. The guidebook copy also has everything needed to play the CRPG, and I will also have a video translating those rules up soon.